It's very tiring dealing with a chronic pain condition because sometimes it's like a full-time job.
I would say the pain is a major part of my life. How could you have pain all the time? It's just sort of hard to explain if you haven't experienced it.
I truly believed my recovery would be quick and uncomplicated. And sadly, that wasn't the case.
You just want to lay in bed and, I'm not going to you start going back to those statements. I'm never going to get better. What's the point?
Getting out of bed in the morning is probably the most painful part of the day. When I put my feet on the ground, it's like stepping on knives. There hasn't been a day in 10 years that I haven't experienced pain.
I would walk with my hand on my shoulder or protecting my shoulder as a barrier between myself and others. I was terrified of someone bumping me because I was just so sore and I couldn't deal with that extra pain. Three years ago, I had an accident. I had a fall from a height of about 7 feet, and I fell headfirst onto the concrete, kind of head and shoulder first. So I had substantial soft tissue injuries to my shoulder, my neck, my back, as well as some head injuries. The pain was constant. It was all-encompassing.
I guess 11 was when I got diagnosed with reflex sympathetic dystrophy. In terms of the symptoms of it, extreme pain is the best way I can describe it. Multiple different types, sharp, stabbing, shooting, burning, pins and needles, very intense.
I've had sickle cell disease all my life. I was diagnosed with it at a really early age, and the struggles have just been there the whole time. They've kind of changed from crises to crises, but it's always been the same sort of conflict. Sometimes it's in the legs area, so it's hard to move around. It sort of feels as if it's like a cutting type of pain, but it's in the vein area. It's like you could feel it on the inside.
I got hit in the face, and I was looking up, so when the ball hit me, it hit this whole part of my face. So, including my eye, which was open. The hospital stay, I don't remember it much because they tried so many different medications.
Pharmacologically, I've used anti-inflammatory drugs, muscle relaxants, drugs to increase my circulation, breakthrough medications, things to help me sleep during times when I've had extremely, extremely poor sleep, because when I'm sleep deprived, the pain does increase, as well as using medication for nerve pain. I've had ketamine infusions done, nerve blocks done, which have worked and have not worked. It's kind of a hit or miss with those.
wasn't as simple as take my pain medication, do my exercises, and things would get better.
I felt as if no one believed me. We'd go doctor after doctor after doctor, and they kept saying, nothing's wrong with you. We can't see anything wrong with you. Some doctors are like, it's all in your head.
I just couldn't understand at 11, 12 years old, when I was in so much pain, when I was so sick, how someone could look at me in the face and say, I don't believe you, you're faking it, when I had very blatant physiological symptoms.
I was young, I was healthy, I was fit, I was doing everything I was supposed to do, but I wasn't getting any relief. And I began to question myself and if this pain was really as bad as I thought it was. And then I really struggled with that.
Because I was told that I was attention-seeking behavior and that it was all in my head, my only option of treatment at that time was to be placed on a psychiatric ward. I was extremely did never, ever want to have any psychological help for many years.
A lot of people would say to me, like, oh my God, you're still not better yet?
We're kind of moving from med to med, trying to find one that really hits and reduces the pains to a tolerable level, and that search is actually ongoing.
My first physiotherapist I ever saw said to me, go on a bike and don't get off until you can put your leg around. My leg was locked 10 degrees hyperextension. Couldn't move it, and that was my very first experience with a physiotherapist. So it made me very, I'm not dealing with this. I don't want to see a physiotherapist.
I had post-op complications, and those dragged on. And in some ways, I felt I was worse after my surgery than I was before my surgery, and I was devastated. And then I hit a wall. Instead of getting better, things were getting worse.
No one understands me. That's one of the blanket statements you make. But it's like, I can't think that, because you know what? There are some people, they don't get my pain that I'm in, right? Because pain is, unique for yourself, and it's unique for me. But, they try to understand, and there are people that care about me. And I think that's what kind of changes it. Because all of a sudden, I had this group of people that were willing to advocate for me, and they believed everything I said.
What I've learned in the process over 10 plus years of dealing with this is that your mind is a very powerful tool.
We got referred to the pain clinic, and I think that's I guess in the whole story, that's kind of like the changing point where everything kind of flipped around.
At that point, I couldn't go on like this anymore. And that is when I went for help with pain management. And I learned self-hypnosis and breathing techniques and body scanning techniques. And that is what saved me. That's what allowed me to get through the rest of my recovery. That was a big changing point for me. I found hope again through that.
Visualization is a huge one for me. I use visualization all the time. Imagine it's like you have an elevator in your brain. And so it's like first I hit the first floor, so relax my legs. Second floor, third floor, and then until it gets to that place. And I know the pain is there, but it's like I compressed it, put it in a box, and threw it to the back of my head, right?
When the pain is sharp and coming on repeatedly, you kind of take deep breaths, just or slow, calm breaths. In a way, you're actually sort of, I suppose, breathing out the pain.
One of my favorite pain control, as well as combining exercise, is to go sit in my hot tub at home. Because I get the heat, I'm able to get much more exercises done than I would outside of the hot tub. I really like to have both limbs forward, say we're doing a quad exercise, so that I'm viewing my good leg and my bad leg side by side. I'm able to visualize normal function, and I cognizantly think of that so I can see it going through my leg. I find if I were just to focus on my affected limb, I'm just going to be seeing the pain that's there.
I use distraction, I write music, I draw pictures, I decide to do my homework or something. Regular stuff. When I'm writing, I just think about the music I write. I think about the words, the flow, the delivery. When I'm wrapped up in this process, I'm here. I'm in the music, not in my body where the pain is.
I have a mind that is capable to focus on what I need to focus, to do the exercises that I need to do at physio, no matter how painful that they are. If I have a logical approach, if I keep myself calm, if I keep myself collected, if I use meditation, if I deep breathe, which I love, that helps me overcome it.
The ability to take these techniques with me, wherever I went, whatever I was doing, really helped me manage my pain. I wasn't reliant on going to see a physician or going to see a massage therapist or a physiotherapist. I was able to bring myself relief, and that was very powerful. I didn't feel useless or helpless anymore.
I think a lot of my friends have a problem wrapping their head around the fact that this pain is, like, constant. It's not like just getting punched or something.
For a long time, the negative comments people would say, I would let them take away my accomplishments. I would let them belittle me. I spent a lot of my time lying to people, and because I didn't want to deal with the reactions. The psychological counseling has been very important for me in terms of being able to confront people's reactions. Because they have no grasp on something such as this. They don't experience a chronic pain condition. They form judgments and opinions. As any teenager, you want life to be as normal as possible. So you'll do anything to seem normal.
A lot of people that are dealing with chronic pain have friends that just don't believe them, or if they do believe them, make light of their situation, tease them over the situation. Keeping up with the friends is still a bit of a challenge, actually.
Through this whole thing, I guess pain really matures you to the point where it's hard for people, especially in high school, to kind of identify with you anymore. So I felt really alone.
I couldn't understand why friends would only be friends with you when you're healthy. I almost found the reactions that I experienced from people harder to deal with than the actual pain. I need to have people in my life who can understand what's going on.
No good could really be gained of these negative thoughts. No good could really come from that. So I decided to just move ahead.
You know, what you have to do is like kind of dig yourself out of a hole, right? And So I try to think about what I want to do and how I'm more than just this.
I would come into myself. I would focus on where my pain was and slowly work to relax and dial that down.
I know I could always count on my family. They're always there for me.
A lot of it's my mom. It's like if I'm in this hole, like she lent me her hand to like kind of pull me out of it, you know?
My struggle with my recovery was difficult on my family. Well, they wanted to take my pain away, and they couldn't do that for me. I had to take my pain away.
That was a huge breakthrough for me when I stopped saying things like always and never and every and no one and, you know, statements like that.
I have a very good relationship with all my doctors. That's a real working relationship that nothing is ever hidden from me.
To make progress through chronic pain, it takes, what does it take? It takes everything.
Everyone is going through their own struggles, and everyone has their own trials to overcome. I feel like this trial is making me stronger.
I'm living in the reality that I have this condition and I have to take care of it. And I'm treating it in the best possible way that I can, but I'm never gonna let it overtake me.
I can feed myself, I can dress myself, and I can tie back my hair by myself. And that was a big step for me.
My pain won't get better, but I'll get better. And, you know, and I mean, like, emotionally, mentally, all that kind of stuff, like, I have gotten better. And so I can't say that there hasn't been any change because I've changed.